Oop, I have something else open. All right. Well, welcome back to this week's Talking Red Raiders with me, AJ Douglas, JT Deloach. We got two new faces with us, Sam Ulrich and Mason Pierce. All of us are Red Raiders. We all met through the Raider Riot system last year during basketball season and thought it'd be fun to get everybody together and see how starting one of these podcasts would look. So here's our first chance getting everybody free at one time. And we'll start off with talking about the Utah game at Utah this week. Red Raiders take on Utah. I think it's 17-16 matchup. We got Big Noon coming in or going to Utah, so this is going to be fun. Anybody's got any thoughts on how this game's going to look?
I guess I'll talk first. First, I'm excited to be here with you. Amazing guys. This is a big game, obviously, not to understate it or anything. I mean, this quite literally could be the Big 12 championship game right here. We're getting an early season preview of it. You have two teams who have some of the best offenses in the country. Obviously, Tech has been phenomenal this year. Baron Morton, in my opinion, should be a Heisman candidate right now with the way he's been playing and carrying this Tech team. But then on the other side, you've got another guy who's got a strong case to be a Heisman candidate, and Devon Dampier, the New Mexico transfer who came over and was a very underrated transfer portal piece this offseason from Utah. And to pair alongside the two first-round guys that they've got on their O-line who staple the tackle positions, I mean, this is going to be an amazing game to watch. Obviously, with our D-line and how dominant they've been, I mean, I can't wait. I'll let one of you guys talk about y'all's opinions, but, man, it's going to be exciting.
I mean, you talked about the Heismans. I was looking at RG3 posted today his top 10, and both Baron Morton and Utah's QB was up there. So we'll see how they'll do it.
He also had Mateer at 9, so I don't know how credible that is.
He had Sawyer at 4 too. I was like, well, we'll see.
Well, he went to Baylor, so he's got a little bit of bias.
Yeah.
I mean, Tech opens up as 3.5-point underdogs. Utah with a 65% chance to win. I mean, I'd say it's fairly even. Contradicting like what the percentages say right now. Then we got, Morton's leading the country in touchdowns right now. He does have that one pick to his name, but honestly, I wouldn't say that pick was that awful. Really, what I'm focused on right now is the edge rushers. You got Romello Height, he's listed as a linebacker, really an edge rush, and then John Bailey as well. So you got two really good guys going up, both on the defensive side of the ball against two pretty stacked O-lines. I mean, it's really, in my opinion, this game's going to come down to who wins in the trenches. But yeah, it should be a good one at Rice Eccles.
Yeah, I think it's really going to come down to which team can adapt to playing a real team first, because both of these teams didn't really play that good of a non-con schedule, especially Texas Tech, who played FCS, Kent State, then Oregon State, which when you scheduled this game like 8 years ago or whatever, you think Oregon State's still going to be a power team, but conference realignment stuff happens and they weren't. So now you're going in to a very hostile road environment, which will be a little less hostile since they're being played at 10 o'clock their time, which kind of works in our favor. If it was a night game, we'd be in a little bit of trouble. But them having Big Noon kickoff there, we know what it was like when Big Noon came here for the Colorado game. Probably the best atmosphere of the season last year. Yeah. And I would like to say, like, the Oregon State game, like the beginning before the rain delay, the atmosphere was comparable to that Colorado game. Like 2 full starts on the first drive, like things were getting there, and then the rain delay happened. So I'm really excited for when, if the team still has the momentum when we're coming back, that Kansas game, first home game on this 2-game road stretch. But I really do think it's going to be the battle of Utah's offensive line versus the battle of our D-line. I think I saw something that we're right now the highest graded PFF defensive line in the nation. Like this, like Tech's just never had a good defense, like never had an elite defense. And this defense really doesn't have any holes. Like, yeah, we'd have, great guys, Tyree Wilson, one great defender, but we never had a well-rounded defense like this. and we're going to see their first real test against a real team this weekend.
Yeah.
I think too, along with that as well, secondary is going to be big for both teams. Who's going to win in the secondary as well? Pass deflections, all that. What coverage we're going to play, everything like that. You got two high tier quarterbacks coming into this game. I really think it also comes down to secondary as well. Like obviously, who at the line of scrimmage, who's going to create the most time, who's going to get the most pressures. But along with that, the DBs and the safeties and everyone, they got to be ready. They got to be on edge, especially stopping the run too. Utah's run game hasn't been too strong. But again, you don't know what's going to change. I mean, Dampier's the leading rusher, I think, with 33 carries for 198 yards and a touchdown. And then it's funny, our third string, or I guess fourth string, Adam Hill is our leading rusher with 207. So I guess it kind of just comes down to secondary, who's going to, like formation-wise, who's going to get beat, who's going to step up, stop the run, all that as well. Also linebacker play. I mean, it comes down to defense on both sides. It's going to be I have a feeling it's going to be a very defensive game in the first half, and things kind of open up in the second half. But I feel like secondary is going to be a big part in this game as well.
Yeah, I remember last week, JT, you spent the whole time talking about Caleb Douglas and how he's going to be how you wanted to see more out of him. And he had one reception for 61 yards last week, but that one including a touchdown. So Caleb Douglas is coming in. Of course, Virgil's been going off all non-conference. We'll get to see how Terrence Carter looks. Went 6 for 102 yards last week. So I don't know. I mean, we'll really see what our receiving core does when they have to face a quality defense in Utah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with both of y'all's points. And JT, I like the fact that you pointed out about, our linebacker core right now, right? I feel like that's one of the most underrated aspects of our team because it used to just be, like really just Jacob Rodriguez and Ben Roberts, right?
Mm-hmm.
But over the course of the offseason, we saw Don Curry, who in my opinion right now is probably one of the top linebackers in the nation in the way he's been playing, right? But we've been able to rotate all three of these guys throughout a game. It's kept them fresh. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot of them be able to play deep into late games, like into the fourth quarter, which we haven't seen a lot of from our D-line just because we haven't needed any of that. Mm-hmm. So I agree that, this game really is going to test a lot of positions that have not been tested yet. I feel like one of those, like AJ, you just mentioned, wide receiver, right? We've seen how well Reggie Virgil's been. We've seen Caleb Douglas still has the explosive play potential. We saw that against Oregon State. But before that, his targets have been down a lot. But one of the things is Barron is spreading the ball out more, right? We've seen a lot more running backs getting the ball, coming out of the backfield, and tight end play has been absolutely phenomenal, right? We had Mason Tharp being 6'9", one of the best, end zone threats. But now we got a guy in Terrence Carter who you can line up in the slot, you can line up right off the tackle, you can probably line him up in the backfield. I'm pretty sure he's had a Wildcat play this year.
Yeah,
so
did. He was on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah. So we're and obviously this offseason was huge for us, but we're seeing a lot of positions that normally didn't have a lot of great success starting to really explode. And like y'all keep saying, this is our first real test and probably one of our biggest tests of the season.
Yeah, talking about Terrence Carter, little fun fact, I actually got to broadcast for him back at our hometown. He played for Harker Heights High School. I was the broadcast for Clean ISD, so I got to watch him dominate, and I believe he was the year that Harker Heights went the furthest they've ever done in playoffs off of the back of him and Dylan Blake, our QB, who's now playing at Texas A&M Commerce, or now East Texas. So, Terrence Carter, I've seen this before out of him, and just seeing him come to the Power Fours and just lighting it up, and it has been incredible.
I feel like too, we forget we have John Carlos Miller as well as a backup. That's crazy to say, that we got him as a backup. Because he's a dog too.
We got a 5-star as a backup right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this team is depth that Tech has never seen before. It's insane. And JT, thank you for shouting out, John Carlos, because I actually had a business class with him last semester. But and he, with Terrence, he adds that versatility in terms of getting down the field and the catching ability. But with John Carlos, he gives you that other element, which is being able to block very efficiently. We've seen that so far this year. They'll be in 12 personnel a ton with because we literally have a 1A 1B tight end position right now,
Yeah.
and I mean I don't know how much more I could say, but it's just we're in a really good position. We have a lot of good issues right now, which is just having too much talent.
It's kind of that system where it feels like if somebody goes down, somebody can fill in anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I meant to say this a second ago. Another big talent thing that we have too. We have a FCS All American who was part of one of the best FCS offenses last season, and Roy Alexander, who's like our second string slot right now. Like, I mean, if that doesn't speak to the depth we have,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say.
That money came in good use. I mean,
Yeah.
Keep buying gas, please,
the slogan
Please.
for the year, that and save the
Please.
tortilla.
yes.
15 to 1 has been the slogan of the year for Texas Tech, but I think we also got to give some credit to how good, since we've been talking about how good our defense looks this year, and which is the first time in Tech history, we got to give some credit to Coach Wood. I mean, defensive coordinator.
Yes, bro.
I think the fun fact about him was he hasn't had a defense lower than top 50 in his whole career. So, I mean, what a surprise. You bring in an elite coach with some really good players, and next thing you know, you got a quality roster and a quality team.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And as bad as Houston was last year, as bad as their offense was, their defense was, I think, top 35 in the country, right? And they're working. Yeah, I mean they were working with guys that would probably be third stringers right now on our team. No shot at
Yeah.
Houston, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a guy that I would not be surprised at the end of the year he's getting a group of 5 head coaching gig or a low power 4 gig. He's a phenomenal defensive mind, one of those guys very similar to Mac Leftwich that are, pretty young in age and are obviously going to be future great head coaches. So
Mm-hmm.
We got score predictions for tomorrow's game.
ooh.
I guess
I'm
I can start.
JT, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
JT,
I'm
you brought it
going-
up. You get to start.
I'm going 34-16 Tech. I know that seems biased, but the intimidation factor at Rice Eccles, I mean, it's a 10 a.m. game. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know Utah fans are passionate, but I just don't know to what extent yet. I really don't know much about Utah, to be honest with you. They got good culture. It's just my main fear is for them is alumni. Like who's the students might show, but who on the alumni side is going to show? And that's kind of where my basis is at. I think early in the game I think it's a low scoring game early. Then Tech kind of opens it up in the third quarter. I don't see them scoring more than 17 points on us, to be honest. I mean, the defense is just elite. I mean, I could be completely wrong here.
Defense, I think our team's 95-0 right now with the starters out there. So
yeah, with scoring, it's just I can't see Dampier putting up elite level numbers on us. I can see maybe one touchdown, maybe a rushing touchdown. I really don't know at this point, but I'm going with 34-16 Tech.
34-16 Tech, got that. Let's see, Mason, got a score? Or do you want
Put me
to
on the spot. JT, you made a lot of great points in the fact that this is a 10 a.m. kickoff at Utah. This is not a 6 p.m. kickoff. Caleb Williams type game when USC came in there and got absolutely astonished, right? No shade to Utah. I grew up watching a ton of Mountain West Conference games with them and TCU always being a very elite battle, right? Like, I'm always going to give them the respect because they've been a very gritty team, and which you never want to underestimate because it will somehow just, they always will somehow know how to keep it close. But I think longevity in this game is going to be huge and depth is going to be very huge. And I think Utah is very top loaded, right? And Devon Dampier can only do so much against Romello Height and David Bailey. And those are just 2 edge rushers we've got that are going to be going at them the entire game. Not to mention we got Terrell Tillman. We've got a bunch of dogs in this D-line. And that's just to start. Then you got the linebackers right behind them with Jacob Rodriguez, Ben Roberts, and John Curry. And then the plethora of DBs we got, right? And then not to mention, obviously, the offense. Yeah. So I think this game is going to be somewhat decent high scoring. I'm gonna go 35-24 Tech. I'm going to go 35-24 Tech. I think Utah get in the end zone a few times, but I do think Tech, just with depth and pure talent, I think they will outlast Utah towards the end.
Jeez. Sam, you got an answer?
Yeah, I think my score prediction is 31-17. I think it's going to be, the biggest question I feel like for Tech is how fatigue-wise. I believe, it was like 3 or 4 years ago we lost to Wyoming. That was, talk of the game was elevation concerns and going up. I think Wyoming and Laramie, they have the highest elevation stadium, I think, in the country, like 6,000 feet or something. I know Utah is up there. It's not quite that high. And the fact that the starters haven't played a full game this season, I think the more concern is going to be, towards the end of the third quarter and then that fourth quarter. I think that if it is a close game, that might play into Utah's advantage. But I think that Tech kind of dominates the first half. They control the pace of the game in that first half, and that they have a 2-touchdown, 3-touchdown lead in that first half, and they can kind of take their foot off the pedal a little bit in the second half. But I agree, like, this defense is something special, and I think that is definitely something Tech has never had, and a team is that, like, I go to the games, I'm like, man, I really want to watch the defense play. Like, the front four, those are some dogs. Like, those are real football players. And, like, the thing is, like, all these transfers, these are guys that have played before, and, like, that's another thing is most of these guys, this isn't their first big game. Like, they've, Cole Wisniewski, FCS national champion.
Yeah.
So these are guys that have played in meaningful games before. This isn't going to be a culture shock to them when they go out there and see, a sold-out stadium and, Big Noon, and you got, fans loud the whole game. I believe that the offense was practicing indoors, and they were bumping noise in the indoor practice facility this week. So I think Coach McGuire and the team, they're going to be ready to go up there, and 31-17, I think is what I said. So, yeah, 31-17.
Real quick before, AJ, you go, I'm glad you mentioned elevation. The team just landed in Utah about an hour ago. I got my boy on who's on the staff case. They landed an hour ago. I was going to bring up a point. I forgot to bring this up. This is just real fast. We don't got to, touch on it, really. I would have thought we would have gone up yesterday, have one day to get adjusted to elevation. That's just me. But I'm fine with what we're doing.
No, I agree. And also, our equipment truck, I think, left on Tuesday, right?
Wednesday, yeah.
Or Wednesday, yes.
Wednesday.
And normally, yeah, and I agree. And I think that's and I'm so glad, Sam, you brought up the Wyoming game, because Utah just played Wyoming last week, right?
And it's a tough place to play.
And that's what I'm saying. And we saw them also struggle that first half. It was 3-0 Utah at half, right? It's not like they came out this explosive team. And another thing that I think Utah fans need to also remember, as bad as our non-conference has been for Tech, y'all's has not been any better. You played at UCLA, a team that just lost 35-10 to New Mexico.
Yeah, that win
just lost the ball damn period. And you know what I mean? And it's a very similar case to Iowa State, and we'll probably bring that up later, right? Their resume is not much better than a lot of other people's resumes. So they're a very talented team, but they also have not faced the challenge, same as us. And that's why I think this is a lot more even kill game than a lot of Utah fans want to believe it is.
AJ, what you got?
Yeah, sorry, I did not mean to.
No, you're good.
I liked it.
I'm gonna stay in the ballpark around you guys. I think somebody's got to go into the 40s here, just so that way somebody's different. So I'm gonna say Tech comes out and gets a 42 point lead, or not lead, 42 point score. I'm not saying blowout. Hold on. It is not blowout.
I'm confident in our boys, but man,
I don't know how many points I want to give Utah, because I really do believe in that defense. Let's go with 42-35. I'm going to say it's going to be a touchdown game.
Wow, it's a shootout.
Wow.
It's a shootout.
Hey.
Is it garbage time touchdowns they're getting?
A little bit of that, and a little bit of I'm afraid of, since this is the first time the starters are playing a full game worth.
Yeah.
How endurance are they going to be? So I know I believe in the defense, but I also believe that it's going to be both a shootout, because you got two quality offenses going at each other. But at the same time, I do believe that our defense holds them back to let the offense win. So I believe more in our offense, and I believe that our defense is going to slow down a quality offensive team in Utah. So that's why I'm still saying it's a shootout. But I believe in the defense to end up getting us the win. Maybe we get a big touchdown somewhere from like Gil Howard again. Get a big man touchdown or get it.
Man, that would be sick.
Six,
I'm
six.
picking up.
I'm
I'm
just
picking up
saying.
on our defense. Brendan Jordan gets his INT this game, and this is the game where he gets it early, probably in the first quarter. We go down and score first. Jordan gets the interception, get up 14-0, kind of just shut it out from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think
Um,
5 touchdowns is
Hey,
still respectable.
shout out Brendan Jordan. That's a guy who's been with us for only 3 years, but has some of the most experience on the team. Young
Yeah.
cat who's not getting enough attention, in my opinion. But
While we're
Also
when we're
real
on the
good,
topic of ranked matchups, let's go ahead and dive into the AP poll real fast. I guess we'll do our segment on the AP poll. We'll pick one team who we think is overrated, one team that we think is very underrated. So we're kind of just gonna go off that. I got my 2 teams in mind. I don't know about y'all.
Here, hold on. Before we move on, do y'all want to talk about the new jerseys that got announced?
I'm
that's
down. We can do a
yeah,
little brief thing about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Quick on the jersey, real quick. I'm gonna see if I can even pull it up for us.
I'm gonna give it an 8.6 out of 10. I think I forgot who said it in our group chat. The face masks. If you put those
Thank you.
the face
Thank
mask
you.
change
Thank
would
you.
have done it for me. But those might have been the best jerseys we've dropped in a while.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
They are
yeah.
nice.
I agree. I was about to ask. I bought one. I don't know if y'all want me to go get it and bring it. So people that may not have seen it,
Really,
I mean, they're
If you
I mean,
got it
I
on you,
agree.
absolutely. If
yeah.
I was
Hold on,
about
I'll
to
get back.
just pull it up.
I might have to go cop me a jersey.
I know
mean,
it's a nice jersey.
Yeah, it's a good stuff. But no, I think who we wear those BYU.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's gonna be the blackout game. Then that's confirmed.
All right, boys. All right. See what we.
Oh,
Oh, that's
A little
clean.
blurred.
yeah,
a
you
little
gotta
blurred.
turn off your
Yeah,
thing.
hold on. Let me get that.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. Bet. Here we go.
There.
That's very clean.
Yeah,
I
it
messed
looks
with
even
it.
better in person too.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a new, and I see that's why we better do a whiteout for that game.
Oh,
There's
absolutely.
no excuse now.
Do we
If
have one
if
coming
that's
up?
the night game on broadcast wise, that's gonna be awful.
Oh, that would be.
Dude, no, I agree. Also, I wanted to ask y'all real quick. I don't know if y'all seen this, but I think it's Utah starting running back, one of their starting receivers, Wayshawn Parker. He had tweeted something earlier in the week, and I can send one of y'all the screenshot of it. But he tweeted something out like, this isn't Washington State, because he was on last year's Washington State team, transferred to Utah in the offseason. What are y'all's thoughts about him? Little shot early,
Does he
little shot
start?
early in the week.
Does he
I have
start?
no clue.
What's his name?
I have Wayshawn Parker.
I haven't seen it. Mason, you can pull it up on the computer.
Yeah,
You can
maybe.
screen share, and I think that should work.
But let me
I
get it. Let
mean,
me see.
he had 7 start. He had 12 starts for Washington State last year, so I assume so. But also, I mean, I'd say to him, you can start talking when your quarterback's not the leading rusher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very, very ignorant thing to say because you're going up against a team who I feel like is not talked at all. I have not seen any of our guys on social media going crazy, celebrate. I mean, I just think it's one of those things that's gonna come back and end up biting you. I feel like,
Did
he's
we
gonna
find
end
out what
up.
the no mustache is?
It was a chocolate milk ad.
It's a milk ad, yeah.
Oh,
We
okay.
talked about it in
Chocolate
the sports
milk
PR class.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was done like in
Yeah.
See,
July.
I don't think he gets over 60 yards.
Oh no! I
He
mean,
don't
we have.
get over 60 yards. I really
The rush defense has been phenomenal all season. Like,
I agree.
I kind of want to see what he's at right now, where he is on the depth chart.
I got it pulled up. I think he might
Yeah, that's
be
what I
there.
said.
If he's the
I think
starter, if he's the
He's not-
starter,
he's not a bad
Yeah,
player,
he's
by any means,
he's
yeah.
their listed as their number one. But I mean, you got running quarterback, so really, it's not the
Parker.
not the
No
number one.
hate. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, no
27
hate.
carries, 192, 2 rushing touchdowns, 7 average. That's not bad at all, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he's.
Sophomore.
I mean, you've done all this against weak competition, same as we have, but we haven't been talking about it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's. before that's all. I just wanted to get y'all's opinions on it because I saw it and he ended up deleting it like an hour later, which I thought was hilarious.
I just like
So
what I'm gonna say is don't talk until you're your team's leading rusher when that's your position. Like if your quarterback is out rushing you, that's saying something.
yeah, no, I agree. But no, AJ, like you were talking about, bringing this into this segment, the jerseys, right? These are obviously the pretty much just the invert of what we had last year
Yeah.
against Colorado. Seeing these new jerseys now makes me really wish we never had those gray ones last year, and we would have just done these to begin with.
Yeah.
I was surprised we didn't use that design more, even like with basketball. I feel like that would be insane, right? To get Patrick at least in the
They
basketball
should.
side.
What was the one jersey we had? I think it was the Arizona State game for basketball.
Yes.
Do you remember that jersey?
Oh.
And that's the game we had that wasn't that double overtime?
It was 100
Yeah.
points. Yeah.
Yes.
114. Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
Man.
So
Man, I remember
Hey,
when that
people.
game happened, I had a assignment due at 11:59, and it was already a late start to the game. And I was like,
Wait,
oh
I
my
read-
gosh, is this game ever going to end? Because if it doesn't end, I'm going to miss class. I'm going to miss my
Yeah, no,
assignment.
I agree.
And I think I turned it in like halfway done with like a 52 or something.
We'll take it.
All right,
Yeah, it's
That's
a
what
zero.
I'm saying, man.
AP poll right now.
Yeah.
I got my underrated and overrated ready to go if y'all want me to start it off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, so underrated right now. It's a team y'all know I'm really high on. It's Georgia Tech. Haynes King is him. Georgia Tech was my preseason ACC winner. Everyone doubted me. Went in, got a big win against Clemson. They got a good 1-2 punch at running back as well. Good receiver depth. Defense is really good. We got one of their Romello High came from there. We got one of their biggest productions from last year, and yet their defense is still strong. I think Georgia Tech, in my opinion, is a top 15 team, and I mean, you look at their season last year. I think it was a 9-3 finish. Hung with Georgia, brought them into 8 overtimes. They're sitting one behind us right now. I wouldn't have been mad if they jumped us, honestly. They've proven themselves. They've continued to prove themselves. I think their coach is a badass. Like, that dude knows ball. Haynes King, like, he's such an under the radar guy. I mean, just like Baron Morton, he's very under the radar. I have a feeling Georgia Tech Miami is going to be the ACC championship matchup this year. That's my personal opinion. A lot of people weren't high on me picking Georgia Tech. I had a lot of friends back home call me crazy. Hopefully it pays off. It's paid off so far.
Yeah, especially with that win over Clemson.
Yeah. And then my overrated for the week, there's a lot of teams I think are overrated right now. I'm going to stick in the Big 12 and go Iowa State here. Rocco Beck, he's a good quarterback. That first game against Kansas State, yes, it was in a monsoon, but that really spoke to me after seeing how Kansas State started off 1-3 so far.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State had to convert on a 4th and 8 to seal the game against Arkansas State. And you can say, it was an away game, all this stuff. Arkansas State has no atmosphere. Their stadium's pretty cool, but if we're being real, they got no atmosphere. So I think Iowa State's still a top 20 team. I just don't see them at the 12 spot. I see them more like where we are, 18. But I feel like Iowa State is my big overrated. I feel like 6 of the 7, oh my gosh, my thing just went out. I feel like 6 of the teams from the, I feel 8 to 14 range really do not deserve to be in those spots.
Yeah.
And I feel like,
No.
I don't know if someone's going to touch on OU, but I feel like OU is a top 10 team.
Yeah, I'll piggyback you on that. Now, by no means are we OU fans. Let's just get that out the rip. Despise Crimson, despise anything with that school. But
hey, my buddy's the backup quarterback there, though, so I respect that.
Hey, okay, that's sick. But no, I think they are a team that could definitely be top 10, right? You go in, that Michigan game, right? All the talk is Bryce Underwood, Michigan's defense, just all of these things, right? But they bring in a quarterback by the name of John Mateer, a gambling addict like all of us. Shout out to him. But he comes into an atmosphere he's never been into, right? Going up against a team he's never even played at that caliber, and balls out. He had some mistakes, right? but balled out. But the one thing that I think we've never been able to say about OU, similar to us, they play defense this year. That D line is absurd. Starting with I think it's Thomas Mason, I think is his name. One of their D linemen, absolute stud, right? And JT, just to, like I said, to piggyback your point, 100% is a team that should be over a team like Iowa State in terms of competition they've played outside of obviously Temple, but playing a super big non-conference game like that against the caliber of a team like Michigan, I think that spoke volumes and definitely should have bumped them up a little bit more.
Well, looking at it right now, there was a around a 250-point gap between votes from OU compared to Iowa State. Iowa State below them right now. And also, when you touch on the defense, when you have Brett Venables as your head coach, you're going to play defense. That was a good pickup for that.
Dabo is missing that boy more than anything right now. I mean, oh my goodness.
So who's your overrated for the week?
Oh shoot, we going my turn? Okay. So all right, so I didn't even get to my the team that I think is underrated, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna go Illinois. They're top 10, right? They're top 10. But when
Underrated
you
at a top 10 team.
I'm telling you, it's crazy, right? They're number 9, but they're underrated.
Who's in front of
You don't hear anybody talking about this team. Their defense.
That's true.
One of their starting cornerbacks, Jaheim Clark, I love the kid growing up. Came out of Florida, was this like very low 3-star recruit, one of the best corners in the Big Ten right now. When you look at their schedule, you're probably like nothing crazy, right? But their second game, they went on the road against the Duke team who just paid Darian Mensah, I think it was about $4 million to come over from Tulane. They brought in a couple other guys. Duke was supposed to be a sleeper ACC team, kind of like where Georgia Tech is right now. They came in and dominated. I think Luke Altmaier is one of the more underrated quarterbacks in college football. Not saying he's going to be like Heisman caliber, but I think he's a guy that doesn't get talked about enough. And they just have a bunch of sneaky guys at receivers, some guys that they've developed over the past few years. And their O-line is also very good as well. I think Illinois is a very sneaky team, and their schedule also is not that daunting. Their toughest game is at home against Ohio State. But outside of that, they've got USC at home. They got Purdue on the road, Washington on the road, Rutgers at home, Maryland at home, on the road at Wisconsin, and then finish out the year at Northwestern at home. I think they're a team that could somehow sneak into the Big Ten championship, which is insane to say. But with that schedule,
you didn't even mention who they're playing this week.
Before. They're playing. I mean, okay, yeah, the Indiana game.
They've got Indiana. That's going to be their first real test to me. Like, I want to see. I want to watch this game to see what the Big Ten looks like because of these two going at each other. And then, of course, you mentioned the Ohio State game, which Ohio State's always going to be a hard opponent. So if they can hold up with Ohio State, we'll see. We'll see how good they really are.
I agree, and this kind of also feeds into my, so we were doing underrated and overrated teams. So kind of feeds into my overrated team. I feel like that's Indiana. They're not a bad team by any means, but my God, I don't know if anybody watched that Kennesaw State game week 2. When you look at the final score, it's 56-9, and you probably think I'm insane. There was one point at the game. Let me look at the little box score.
Wasn't it like 20-9 until the third quarter?
Yes. They struggled somewhat on all. Okay, it was so going into half. It was 21-6. Mind you, Kennesaw State is arguably one of the worst FBS teams in the country.
Yeah.
I'm still not sold on Fernando Mendoza. I think he's really good. Coming over from Cal, I thought he was a very underrated pickup, but I don't see enough out of this team to justify them being ranked over other schools right now, which I think also Baylor's not even ranked, but Indiana is. I think Baylor's a solid team, which is weird saying as we're at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Students. I don't know. I think they're a team that's going to end up unranked at the end of the season. And also their schedule is not the greatest. Like AJ, you mentioned, they've got Illinois at home this week. Then they go on the road at Iowa, even though they're struggling. Iowa's always kind of a hard place to play at. And then they go on the road at Oregon. Then they have Michigan State at home. They'll take care of business against UCLA that following week. But then they go on the road at Penn State later in the season. And then they finish off at the end of the year at Purdue. So I think they're a 9-3 team, 8-4 team. I just don't think they're top 25 in my opinion. But I'll quit yapping.
No, you're good. I'll touch on my my underrated right now. I don't really know if I would count them as underrated. They're just my favorite team to watch right now. Vanderbilt. I love seeing Vanderbilt as a top 25 team. And especially with that win over a ranked South Carolina last week, 31-7. Wasn't even a close game. Man, I love that Vanderbilt's an actual quality team for once. And being something or being a school in Tennessee, if they can make some competition with Tennessee Volunteers, I think that could be a very electric game because of proximity and all that, man. I'm so happy that Vanderbilt's a quality opponent finally.
I gotta bring up real fast. Like Lenore Sellers did get injured in the second quarter. I mean, I'm not saying
he got knocked out.
I didn't watch the game.
I'm
I'm just saying I love that.
I'm not saying that's the reason that Vanderbilt won, but that is a key piece.
I also do think, and I don't mean to interrupt you, I also think South Carolina is not as good as they were projected to be because when you watch them week 1 against Syracuse, they struggled immensely on offense.
Yes.
And you look at how Syracuse is, they're decent. They've got a really good offense. I love Fran Brown. I mean, I think he's one of the best up-and-coming head coaches right now in college football. But there's no way. Oh, JT's thing just.
Yeah, I saw that. I just saw his
Yeah, I think
message.
he's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen right now on my thing.
Yeah, he's frozen. He just said his computer's glitched. He'll be back in a second, so. I don't know.
Well,
Like I said,
yeah.
He got so mad about Vanderbilt that his computer glitched out. But no, honestly, I didn't watch the game. I don't know enough about Vanderbilt. I just love the fact that Vanderbilt's up there, and that's just my all I want to say on them is just like, whenever in your lifetime have you said Vanderbilt's a ranked team?
Hey, 2013 Vandy was special. And they had Jordan Matthews on that team. They were low key. But no, I agree. Like relevant time, like our era of college football, right? Which I consider like 2014 to now.
Mm-hmm.
Vandy has been a laughing stock in terms of football in the SEC. And the biggest thing to me that's what changed their program has been Clark Lee, right? A lot of praise has been given to Diego Pavia and absolutely deserved. He's very cocky and people hate it, but he's got the the accolades behind it to back it up, right?
Yeah.
When he was at New Mexico State, I mean, he went into Auburn, beat Hugh Freeze in his first season with all the talent they had. He was playing for New Mexico State.
And he got a rule
And then
change after him, too. So he's
then
now the reason JUCO
yes.
can now get all 4 years of eligibility.
Yes. And not to mention, he's just one piece of the puzzle that's made that Vandy team so special, right? Their defense has been phenomenal. They've gotten transfers that have been absolutely huge. One of their starting safeties, Randon Fontenette, was a guy that I absolutely loved when he came out of high school. Ended up playing at TCU his freshman year, balled out, and then decided, he wanted to go a little bit bigger, went to the SEC and joined Vandy. In his first season, they end up upsetting Bama and do all those great things, right? I mean, I say great things, but for a program that needed it as bad as they did, I feel like 8-5 in a bowl win is drastic. It's program changing.
Yeah. And the SEC, yeah. I mean, they beat Alabama last year.
Yeah. Dude, and that was a Bama team that still was extremely talented. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
They were no, I was just saying that. Alabama, if Clemson doesn't, beat SMU in the ACC championship, Alabama was a playoff team last year. That is
exactly.
Yep. So Alabama could have made some noise in the playoffs if they would have made it.
Yeah, no, they definitely have turned that program around. Again, they were the laughing stock for our whole lifetime, and now here they are as. There we go. Sorry, my fault. I was letting JT back in here. No, they were.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. That was.
We just saw your thing, you freeze.
Yeah, we saw you freeze, and we were like, "Well, there goes. He's gone."
Dude, it said my PC had to do an update, which I was like, "There's just no way."
Worst time ever.
Doesn't need to do it right now. It can wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
No, I feel you. But no, so not JT. So AJ, your underrated team is Vandy. Who do you got right now that's a little overrated that maybe shouldn't be?
The 7 and 8.
Where they're at.
Both 7 and 8. Florida State and Texas. I hate both teams. I don't hate both teams.
Texas, I agree.
Okay.
Texas, I will.
The
Florida State.
The Florida State.
I don't know about
makes me
Florida
mad
State
because they were ranked because of the Alabama win. Which, okay, they beat Alabama, but the problem is Alabama's not that good. They're not the Nick Saban Alabama. They are a whole different roster.
Yeah.
I don't like that they shot all the way up to 14th last week because of it, and then they did have a dominant win over East Texas, but that shot them up another 2-3 spots.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like Florida State
yeah.
being that high up. Are they a good roster? It looks like they have turned
Yeah.
it around since their 2 wins of last year, but
Yeah.
the fact is they're 7th now. I don't know if I can agree with that. And then Texas,
I get behind that.
close game
Yeah,
against
I get
Ohio
it.
State. That's fine. Ohio State's ranked number 1. But the El Paso,
They're not
the El
good.
Paso
Yes,
game
thank you.
did
Thank
not
you for
look
mentioning
good
that,
for
Ace.
Arch Manning. There's
Yeah.
no reason they are ranked 8th. I get how high you were on
I
them, but
agree.
if you have 3 bad games from Arch Manning, and I'm not a guy that's going to say ditch Arch Manning. He's still young. He's still learning. But I'm at the point where I'm like, there's no reason they should be getting 8. They should, if you want to keep them ranked, fine, but put them lower. Don't put them in top 10.
See, the part I feel with Arch Manning is no one, like me personally as a college football fan, I never expected Arch Manning to perform like a Heisman candidate in his first season. The problem with everyone hating on Arch is the media put so much pressure on him. He didn't put all this pressure on himself. The media put it all on him. And now that he's not performing to the media's standards, he's considered a bust.
Yeah.
I don't think he's necessarily a bust. Do I think he's anywhere near Heisman level? No. Does he have room to grow? Yes. There's a reason he sat behind Quinn Ewers for 2 years. If he was as good as the media was portraying him to be, Quinn Ewers would not be starting over him.
Yep.
Thank you.
And Quinn
Thank you.
Ewers was a
agree.
5th rounder, and he's sitting behind him. Is that where?
Well,
where did Quinn
I
go?
do have to say, I mean, Ewers was a great quarterback. Ewers was a great, solid college quarterback. But if we're going to give Arch Manning all this praise and be the preseason Heisman favorite, there was a reason he was behind Quinn Ewers. If he was really a Heisman favorite and truly that much of a stud, there was no reason for Ewers to be starting over him.
No, and I don't want to piggyback off what you just said. You know, if he was this good, he would have started his freshman year. And a good example of that is Bryce Underwood at Michigan right now, right? Yes, I know their quarterback room doesn't consist of, an NFL backup right now. But at the same time, Arch was this number 1 overall recruit, almighty, and they still said he needed development. He still needed, he came from a small 2A school in Louisiana that played a bunch of guys that, are definitely not going to be D1 athletes, right? So obviously it's going to take some time going from that level of high school football to now all of a sudden you're going up against the best of the best in the SEC, right? And also to talk about that, the Texas team as a whole, their offense this season is just very broken. The play calling has been very wish-washy with Sark. I think Sark is a great coach, but there's been a lot of instances where he hasn't put his team in the best positions. But also, too, with Arch, and you see a lot of it, it's just the pure unexperience, right? Those 9 straight incompletions he had against Utah were all easily completed passes. I'm talking 5-yard slants right in front of him with no linebacker dropping back or no safety dropping down, right? And not to mention the fact that Texas' defense is still elite. Colin Simmons didn't go anywhere. Malik Muhammad and all those cats didn't go anywhere. Texas is still a really good team. But, like we've been saying, that offense is just hindering them. And I think another school that's very similar to that right now is LSU. LSU's got easily the best defense right now in the country. Yeah. Easily the best. But their offense, Garrett Nussmeier being the Heisman contender, Heisman favorite right now, he's no better than Baron Morton. Baron Morton's got better stats. And, I know different competition, but I'm glad, JT, that you brought that up. Yeah.
All right, Sam.
LSU is
what's your underrated?
Yeah, LSU is my overrated team. So
thank you, Sam.
Like after week 1, you could be like, yeah, maybe this LSU team's good. They go to Clemson, they win, but then last couple of weeks, like Clemson, that win for LSU looks worse and worse every week.
Yeah.
Because Clemson is not lose Georgia Tech last week. They struggled the week before that against Troy. And Troy looked like they could have won that game. And
they were trailing at half, right?
Yeah,
they were.
My fault. What happened?
This is hilarious.
I know. Well, the thing is, I don't have Team Premium, and it gave me one warning 15 minutes ago, and that was it. It didn't tell me it was like I expected it to say 5 more minutes or whatever, and it just cut out.
So are we just gonna edit that part?
Yeah, we'll just edit it. I mean, it's not that bad.
That was hilarious. That's hilarious.
I know, we just cut out mid-conversation. But yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's because I don't have Team Premium. Since I don't have Team Premium, it told me that we only have 60 minutes, and then it would kick us all out.
Sure.
So, and we were sitting in the thing before we finished, or before we got started. So
Yeah.
that's why it did what it did. So we're just waiting on Mason now. I was waiting on you guys, but I was like, well, I might just talk about Cleveland Browns football while we wait. Yeah, my team. Oh, that would be a long conversation, but I got stuff to say about it.
So, hey, I'm in the same boat as you, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you guys are off to a bad start too.
Well, we played 2 good teams though, so.
Yeah, we played.
I don't want to talk about my team.
Hey, at least you have a win. You're the only one in this group right now with a win.
I mean, still.
I should have won week 1, but of course.
We should have won last week. I just don't know.
Bro, the Packers
Look,
are
guys.
winning the damn Super Bowl, bro.
Hey, don't say that after the Browns play them this week.
Bro, the Packers are fucking disgusting.
I mean, they are, but still, the Browns play them this week, so.
Y'all are gonna get destroyed, bro. It's not even gonna be close.
Hey, what I said though about it was that the Browns defense can make it a game, but if our offense doesn't help them out at all, there's no chance. But the defense will keep the game close until like fourth quarter when the Browns realize that their offense ain't gonna help them out at all, and that's gonna be the end of it.
Yeah.
I said the only chance we have is if we can get a turnover and score on it.
I guess Sam, when we're back, just start back up on LSU.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sam. Yeah, get started on LSU. We'll just once Mason's in, we'll just add him in here.
Yeah. You want to start now, or we can we'll wait till Mason? I don't.
No, just get
I was
started
just-
now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, before we got interrupted, I was talking. Like
Let's see.
their
I think the last thing you
their
said was
games.
just LSU. I think it was just literally just said my overrated team is LSU and then cut out. So
Yeah. I mean, they haven't scored more than 23 points in a game this season, and the Louisiana Tech game, even though they won 23-7, like that game was close at the beginning of the game, and so it's Louisiana Tech. Like Garrett Metzmeyer and this offense, if they are the number 3 team in the nation, they should put up more than 23 points against Louisiana Tech. And I also want to say the game last week, when you force 5 interceptions and you only score 20 points on it,
yeah,
like that is something out of the number 3 team in the country should not do. They need to capitalize off of 5 interceptions. And you're at home too. You're at Death Valley, and you only win 20-10, and you force 5 interceptions. Like I'm still a big DJ Lagway fan. I still think he's going to be very good. He's just in a bad system. All right, it might be my coping, but I still think DJ Lagway.
No, I agree with you.
has-
I think he's a good quarterback. He just doesn't fit Napier's system.
Yeah, no, like his first 4 interceptions were all on 3rd down. Like it was more of he was playing a little too much hero ball, and I think if he, like I see him if like they have the hardest schedule out of anyone. Like you look at it, they had one easy game, that was week 1 against something Delaware or something, or Rhode Island, I think.
Yeah,
Like they
I think
play
so.
their non-con is ridiculous. Like Miami, they play this week.
There it
They
is.
play Florida State also. And they play like all the good SEC teams. So, like that is a Florida team that could do something. I just don't think they will. But 5 interceptions and you only score 20 points. It's kind of ridiculous.
I'm pulling up
Then my
Florida right
underrated
now.
team. Yeah, no. Look at that schedule. It's the gauntlet. Like they play A&M. They
It's
play all
awful,
like
bro.
all
They
the-
play like everybody.
They play Georgia because they play Georgia every year, neutral site. But my underrated team is actually going to be Oregon, who is ranked 6th, but I think they should be top 3.
Dang.
Really?
That offense
They-
is insane.
They have dominated every facet of the game. The spread of the Oklahoma State game is 28.5. I was like, Oklahoma State is a Power 4 school. Like I think they, it's week 2. Anything can happen week 2. And then they go and they beat Oklahoma State 69-3. Like I know Oklahoma State isn't good, but to beat anybody 69-3 is pretty crazy. Nonetheless, a Power 4 team. And then last week they played a conference game, and then when they beat, I know it's not a good opponent, but they beat Northwestern 34-14. So we'll have a good, I guess you could say a good benchmark and see how we compare to them because they play Oregon State this week. We'll see how Tech stacks up, but I still think like we talk about NIL money, like we spend a lot of NIL money, so does Oregon. Like they have Nike, like
Yeah, when you
giving them money.
got Phil Knight as your
You got
as
Phil
your
Knight,
alumni
and he's
base.
like, here's a bank, here's a blank check, win a championship,
Yeah.
and like
No,
them underperforming last year is just motivation to go this year.
Well, they won
Lose
it
to
all
Ohio
last
State,
year.
Rose Bowl.
I thought someone
Or
was
Oregon.
going to bring this up as well. Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
The
I
same
forgot.
thing is just so tricky though because
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
two games have been against two, in my opinion, top 15 teams. Like
I'd
as much
say
as
top
we,
10.
I hate A&M.
Like,
A&M's
and, like,
offense is
I know.
great this year, which is funny to
Which
say.
is surprising. It's very surprising.
think-
Yes.
I think two more underrated teams for me. They're both out of the SEC. Tennessee, I don't think they should have dropped the 15. Tennessee's a top 10 team.
Yeah.
Joey Aguilar has been playing great, to be honest with you. Like
Who
he
would've
really
thought?
has.
Imagine if it was Nico.
Who would have thought that trade-off would have ended up being completely
Oh my
reversed, right?
God.
Like,
And then
We
also
got-
my other
yeah.
team, who's gonna. I think this might be game of the week, other than Tech Utah, OU and Auburn. I
Good,
think
that's gonna
Arnold
be-
Jackson
Jackson
Arnold has a lot to prove. I think Auburn's a very underrated, under the radar team, sitting at 3-0. Had a good win
Yeah.
week one against
And
Baylor.
The Baylor, like
Um,
that's a game
That's
to
a
look back
huge
at.
one
Like
game,
those are
yeah.
because
And I feel like
Baylor.
Baylor with that win over SMU looked big.
Jackson Arnold returning to OU for the first time since the transfer. I think Auburn comes ready. I think they do end up losing. I think it's within a score though. I know OU in my opinion is a top 10 team, but I think Auburn's a top 15 team as well. And that defense this year has been very stout, very alert, very aggressive as well. And then another team for me that's underrated is USC. Their offensive production has been very good. So a lot of teams here, and then here I am looking at the votes just outside the top 25. Tulane is a team I think we need to start talking about. Playing against, and what also is my opinion, this weekend they play against a very overrated Ole Miss team.
That new quarterback they got though, it's like Trinidad Childress or something.
Yeah.
I think he should have honestly been the starter from the get-go, the way that he looked. Because the week before when they played Kentucky, if I remember correctly, their offense was horrible that first half. Like, I mean, it looked like Kentucky, who, mind you, should finish, like, bottom in the SEC this year in football. You know, they actually were competing with them.
I think Ole Miss's concern is their defense. I don't think
They got no Walter Nolan anymore.
The AP has them sitting at 14 right now. I think that's very generous, especially after that game against Arkansas.
Extremely.
I'm sitting
Arkansas
here.
could have won that game.
I'm sitting here looking at people outside the top 25. You got BYU, obviously. Quarterback play is a question right now. South Carolina still with some votes, which I understand. South Florida with some votes. I can see South Florida kind of being on that fringe.
I feel like
team.
their leash
I'm
was
not gonna
so
lie.
just short in terms of them getting in the top 25. It's insane to me. Miami's a really good team, like really good team, and I think they've shown it this season to start so far.
Well, they
And
got
yes, I know
Miami
South
ranked at like
Florida,
4,
yeah.
right?
Which
Yeah.
If you're gonna lose
I mean,
a
it
game,
helps,
you want to
yeah.
lose to a top 5 team, right?
and it was on the
Absolutely.
road
Like,
too.
Yeah.
And then we got Mississippi State, and then two Big 12 teams, TCU and Arizona State. I think Arizona State is going to be ranked by the end of the year. I think that one lost to Mississippi State. It was in Starkville on the road with the Cowbells. I mean, Starkville, like Mississippi State is a good team this year. I mean, they're going to be solid. They might not finish top half in the SEC, but they're making improvements with that coach. And I think Kenny Dillingham's going to have the guys ready to go by the time we play them at Arizona State. I think they might be around the 21 to 22 range, but still.
So according to the poll, is it Tulane? Is it Tulane and South Florida for that group of 5 title?
I think Tulane.
See, okay. I have a sleeper pick. Is the Ohio Bobcats, bro?
Bobcats.
They're a
They're
good team.
good, but
They're a good team. I think they win the MAC.
How did they do against the Buckeyes last week? Does anybody know?
They helped. It was
37 and
13.
9.
It was close. It was close to half. Yeah.
they held
It was
their way.
13. It was 13-10 at one point.
I mean, West Virginia just
And
beat
then
a
they got
half decent Pitt team. So it's,
Oh wait,
you know,
Ohio played both quarterbacks. They played 2 quarterbacks. Wasn't able to run the ball in the Buckeyes.
What's
JT, I
very
wanted to talk about
surprising.
you. Oh, my bad.
What's up?
Oh, I was gonna say what's very
yeah.
surprising to me is Baylor coming in only with 6 votes,
I know.
and
Yeah.
SMU with 4. I know they lost to Baylor, but like they're right there neck and neck, which is weird to me. And then NC State, as much as I hate to say it, because I'm a big state hater, with 4
CJ
votes.
Baylor.
I don't see NC State. I see why they're getting votes, being undefeated. I don't see the hype around them.
See,
I know.
Their schedule's been very they barely beat a really bad Wake Forest team.
They barely beat ECU, and believe me, I know. I like being from Carolina. I know all about all these teams. Like ECU is nothing, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they were ECU was 4 yards away from tying that game up and sending it into overtime.
I find it weird that Baylor's two. I mean, they're 2-1, and they're only getting what did you say? 6 votes, 4 votes?
Yeah, with that loss to Auburn. I mean, the only thing that I
but
can
Auburn's a
understand
ranked team
is they
now.
lost at home.
Yeah, and also the amount of hype they had going into the season too. Because I mean, they were projected to win the Big 12.
Well,
I know
remember how they
K-State
ended
was
last
also.
year?
Yeah, they're still a good team. Like I don't think anything's taken away after that Auburn game. I still think Sawyer Robertson's top 10 quarterback in the nation. I think Baylor's defense is still kind of skeptical because they've had a lot of injuries here recently. One of their edge rushers, I think, is just announced he's out for the year. So there's still some kind of concerns with
something
him.
with his upper body, right?
Yeah. So I think I definitely, and also, and I like the fact you pointed out, JT, Mississippi State. I think that is a team that's not going to get talked about enough because their offense, their second year under Jeff Lebby, was one of the best offensive minds in college football, right? When he was at OU for that 1 year that he had Dylan Gabriel, they had one of the best offenses in the country. People forget before he left to come to Mississippi State. And I think now, yes, they do have 42-year-old Blake Shapen still starting at quarterback for him, Baylor legend Blake Shapen. I think also it's a veteran group because one of the receivers, Brennan Thompson, he was at UT and OU and had that game-winning touchdown against Arizona State. And their defense is not that bad, even though they also had some season-ending injuries. But I think that's also kind of a sleeper team too. That's not ranked.
I don't know. I mean, I like Baylor. Baylor is a team that I've been watching, especially last year with the way they ended when they went on that really hot streak where we were like, oh, we got nothing to worry about, and then we ended up getting beat by them by 40 at our on homecoming and everything.
But at least Micah Hudson had his highlight reel. So
he had his one catch of the year.
That's right.
I still want to know what's going on behind the scenes with that, but we'll let
I'm a believer.
No, while I was on the topic of BYU plays at ECU in an Old American matchup this weekend. I kind of want to see what happens with that.
Yeah.
Like I know that's an under the radar game, but that's an Old American contest, and I'm not saying ECU is going to win by any means, but I kind of want to see how BYU does.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, their schedule's also been kind of. But I feel like at this point in the state of college football, every school has realized how meaningless your non-conference has been in terms of college football playoff voting.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to schedule quality opponents. So it's really hard at this point in the season to be like, well, this team sucks or this team is like going to be good, right? Because look at Baylor, prime example. They were horrible to start last year.
What? Didn't they start off like 0-4 and it finished the season like?
It was like 1-4. It was like they were struggling completely. Sawyer. I mean, they had 2 quarterbacks that looked helpless, and he's at Miami of Ohio right now. Like DeQuan Finn, because he came over from Toledo last year for Baylor and was a bust completely. And then Sawyer decided to turn into a Heisman contender and balled out the rest of that year. But anyway, we can move on to whatever else y'all want to talk about.
What are y'all? Who's y'all's natty picks for this season? I mean, no team.
I'm not even going to answer that yet. I can't because I feel like it could be anybody really right now.
Do you want my biased opinion? My biased opinion is Texas Tech.
It's going straight Ohio State.
No. Nah, I love my Buckeyes, but I got to go Texas Tech first. But do I believe in that? No.
I love this team, but
we're gonna be. I see playoff. I see Big 12 champion in playoff, but I don't see us as first round.
I remember I told y'all
especially The prediction right now is for us to play at Sanford Stadium in Georgia. So yeah, I don't know
Maybe
about
we can
that.
host.
Either that, I did
Maybe
see,
that
I
would be
did see, I did see one
Okay.
with the 8-9 matchup with us versus Ohio State here.
Yeah,
Which
that would do.
AJ, I know you go crazy for that.
Dude, could
I
you
would
imagine? Dude,
cry,
Lubbock would
bro.
it'd get set on fire.
If that's the
And then
case,
Wouldn't be a
bro, I
also
would
city.
cry.
I also saw
Be insane.
8-9 with us versus I think it was Florida State at Florida
I would
State.
Oh,
love that,
oh,
bro. I would
jeez.
love
Hey,
I
that
think we can
y'all,
beat
game.
them.
y'all think
That'd
I'd
I
be
would
go
have
with
a
Florida
hard
crazy.
enough
State.
time
Good
with
shot.
the Kent State game? Imagine me with Ohio State. Because my family's Kent State alum, so I had no. I mean, it was fun to talk crap, but man, if it was Ohio State, Texas Tech in the playoffs, oh my
Yeah.
God, my family
I'm gonna
group chat
get
would
there
be
first.
killing me.
You know,
I'm gonna
I
get
kind
there
of want to
first.
play. I kind of want to see us play Georgia Tech at home. I feel like that'd be a good matchup with Haynes King with a mobile
Haynes
quarterback
King would
like
have a
that.
field day. Well,
That's
I
what I'm
don't know. I take that
saying.
back. If we're talking last year, he would have a field day. This
Yeah,
year, maybe a different
like
story. But I
John
agree.
Tier would rush for 200 yards.
Also, let me ask y'all: do y'all think Haynes King was like, in my opinion, when he was at A&M, he was hindered by their system? In
Yeah.
my opinion, because
Yeah,
you look at him now. Yes, obviously this is I think fifth year now in college football. But when you
seems
watched him
like
at
a hundred.
A&M, I swear,
It's like
it
I was like,
felt
dude,
like
this
they
dude's
yeah. Like they tried to
like
put him
forever.
into a position that he wasn't meant to be, which is a very much passing the ball a lot, which we've seen he's not able to do great.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, I'm saying this just because I'm from Fort Worth. It reminds me a lot of Max Duggan, like a more frail version of Max Duggan, right? Very aggressive quarterback, will literally put his shoulder down and run through anybody,
Yeah,
but struggles somewhat when it comes to passing the ball, but still gets his team, when it matters the most, gets them, over the hill to win.
I'm looking at it right now. I've been high on Haynes King ever since he transferred to Georgia Tech. This year though, 354 in the air with one interception, no touchdowns. But he does have an
Big
80
improvement.
QBR, which is 21st in the country without a touchdown. So that's saying something.
All
yeah.
right, boys.
That's Brent Key. I mean, shout out to Brent Key, the head coach for Georgia Tech. I mean, he took over a really tough position once Jeff Collins left and got fired. Because Jeff Collins was supposed to save Georgia Tech football. I don't know if y'all remember it, but he was supposed to be their like next, the savior of Georgia Tech football, and that didn't work out at all. And they bring in a guy who loves the program. I'm pretty sure he played for Georgia Tech back in the day. I want to say I could be wrong,
Yeah, he did.
but I mean, dude, and then that little hop step he had coming out of the tunnel. I mean, if you have a head coach like that, man, it's so hard not to want to play that hard and win the
Yeah.
way that they do. So, and I definitely do agree with you, JT. I think that's a team that's going to end up being, in the ACC championship game come late December, early December.
It's interesting to look at. Haynes King does have 4 touchdowns on the year, 3 of them against Colorado on the ground, and then 1 against Clemson on the ground. Georgia Tech's a very
Almost.
rush-heavy team, but
Yeah.
they can pass if needed too. I
And
also
we
saw
talk about
prediction
Colorado.
while
Can
we
talk
were
about
on predictions. If we go up and play, if Tech ends up in the playoffs and we play at Norman, I'm going to see that.
Oh yeah. I think
That'd be
we got a couple games we're already planning on. We should maybe hit. I think what we
Yeah,
said. We said Houston. We said Arizona
ASU.
State.
that's amazing. Yeah.
But
Um,
here, why don't we move on to talking about our game for the week? I think we all have the obvious pick: Texas Tech versus Utah. Any other games we should keep our eyes out on? I'm looking at this
OU, Auburn.
Oklahoma and Auburn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a game that I felt like if OU, and we had talked about this before we started recording, if OU didn't already have game day in Norman, I think game day would be in Norman again this week, just because of the storyline of, 5-star Gatorade All-American comes back to first school. And I think a big thing is, and a lot of people blame Jackson Arnold for the way he played at OU. He had 3 offensive coordinators within, I think, a year, right? He first got to OU, they had fired the previous coordinator, and they hired, Levy. And then Levy leaves literally that year after, or the season after. And then they hire, I think it was, Jesus, the guy before Ben Arbuckle. And, it was a constant just cycle of new coaches and new schemes. And then not to mention that immense pressure, and we've seen how it's affected other quarterbacks like Arch Manning,
Yeah.
like it's affected Nico. Hell, look at Malachi Nelson right now, who's at UTEP, right? That kid was supposed to be the savior for USC. And I think he was just in a really tough position. But I think under Hugh Freeze and that offense that they have, and they're actually letting him use his legs a little bit more, and also the weapons with guys like Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, Georgia Tech transferred Eric Singleton. I think Auburn's going to be a really good team, and that's a game that I don't think is getting enough, being talked about enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. We also got Illinois versus Indiana this week for Big Ten. I'm trying to look it up right now, but isn't the rivalry called the Battle for the Wheel or something like that? I think it's a wheel or a bucket.
Yeah. I
It's
feel like
just
it's gonna
ultimately
be.
for me for that game, like it's just two storied programs, two traditional programs. That's really all it is. I mean, Illinois is one of the most storied programs in the country. Like that stadium, I think it's Memorial Stadium.
Yeah,
That
for
thing's like an
Indiana.
ancient
Yeah.
artifact. That thing's like an ancient artifact, bro. But like, that game's not big on my list right now, and everyone's talking about have high hopes on it. It was like, oh, game day should have been there. I really disagree. I don't think that game has playoff implications. I mean, maybe for Illinois, Indiana's not going to get it. I don't think Illinois is going to be in either.
Yeah, it's the battle for the bucket.
Yeah, I kind of just I don't see the need to focus really on that game. Now, if Illinois comes out victorious, which I think they will, and I don't think it's going to be close either. Like, I really think Illinois blows Indiana. Kirk Cignetti, I don't like him, especially about what he said about us. I really don't like him.
True.
Um,
When you say
I
we're trying
don't
to buy
think-
wins.
I don't think Indiana finishes better than 9-3 this year. To be honest with you, I don't think this is that big of a contest. Illinois wins pretty handily, so I don't think that game really matters.
And I think people also forget last year with Indiana. All respect to them. They made the college football playoff. They deserved it. But their conference schedule was not that overwhelming, right? Their bigger games were at home outside of the Ohio State game, which they got throttled at towards the end of it. But, they played Michigan at home, which Michigan went 7-6, beating Bama in the ReliaQuest Bowl. RIP the Outback Bowl, which is what it should be. But
I felt like you were about to say something. I was going to have to cut you.
what?
When
Ohio
you were
State
talking,
lost.
yep. I thought you were going to say the only win that Michigan
Nah.
had last year was the Ohio State win.
We ain't forget it though. We ain't forgot that. Will they make it
I
5
know.
in a row?
We still haven't forgotten.
Will they make it 5? Was it
Literally-
4? 4 in a row. 4 in a row. Okay.
Yep.
The reason they won the national championship.
Yep.
But no, I do think Indiana is a team that's going to get very much exposed going into the meat of their conference schedule. Actually starting to play other teams other than Kennesaw State or Indiana State. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, no.
Anybody got
Any other game? Any other games y'all look? Yeah, I was about to ask.
Any non-ranked games that you guys know about? SEC wise.
Oh, let me get y'all's opinion about the 10 p.m. kickoff here Central Time for Michigan State and USC, because that's been a big discussion here recently.
Oops.
I think the Big Ten's a mess, bro.
Yeah.
It's,
I just don't see how you could have West Coast and East Coast teams.
Yeah.
Like,
I
if you're
think-
gonna,
yeah.
It's like West Virginia. I want to make a trade with the ACC. We get SMU, they get West Virginia.
yeah, I would look.
Like
Wasn't there
Yeah, I
talks of
believe
the Big
SMU's
12
not-
like getting FSU? Or has
No.
that died off?
That
FSU's
wasn't
never
gonna
leave.
happen.
If FSU leaves, they're going to the SEC. I think I saw something. UNC, Duke, and Clemson were talking about talks to the SEC, but that's not going to happen. UNC's not going to leave without either Duke or NC State, and then Clemson's will just do it for South Carolina. But they play regardless. They play every year anyway, so I don't see that happening anytime soon.
I agree. I think there needs to be some sort of like, if an East Coast team plays a West Coast team, it can't be a night game. Like, it has to be 2:30, 3:30 start. Where if they're on the East Coast playing at 2:30, then it's what, like 10:30 there. Like, that's still early.
Yeah,
Like, maybe it's 11:30. Like, there needs to be some sort of like, there's no. If I have to watch my team play at 10 o'clock at night, and it's just, I don't think it's good for college football.
I mean,
now mind y'all, the starting time in East Lansing is 11. It's not even 10. It's 11. That's just
like,
a
that's ridiculous.
start.
yeah.
That is insane to me.
I mean, you can
But
do what the
that's
NFL does, and then if the West Coast team's hosting, they get the 3 o'clock start. If the East team
Yeah, man,
they
exactly.
start at 12, it should
But
be
see,
that
that's-
way.
that's
There's
the
no
problem,
reason you should
because-
have a split where your East Coast team is staying up, your East Coast fans are staying up till 11, 12 just to start the game.
But see, that's the problem because for college you have so many there's only specific channels that do NFL. Like for college, there's like ESPN Plus times. Like it's whoever's fighting TV rights, and that's my only problem with that. Is it's so hard to do. And I mean, who has it? Fox has the game, which is crazy. But East Lansing. East Lansing's gonna be fine, bro. Like East Lansing people are crazy. I got a friend up there. Like they're nuts. They'll stay up for that. They don't care. It's only the college football fans that care.
And it's a Saturday night. I mean, only thing you're waking up for in the morning is church. You're not going to work the next day. So
I mean, if Tech ever played an 11 p.m. game, I'd be livid. But it's just
I mean, it's not a matter of if the people will watch it. I mean, obviously they know people. We love college football, right? Yeah. That's the reason why we're doing what we're doing right now. Is because we love college athletics. And I think the biggest thing is that people don't like about this is the direction it's going in, because now it's starting to go into a very just whatever the TV companies want, which is pretty much what college athletics has turned into. Like we've seen it in college basketball now. ESPN's got their Big Monday stuff, right? Yeah. Which I think is hey, I'm not complaining. It's getting more eyes and whatnot, but you know what I mean? Like these big matchups you kind of want to have on a weekend where fans can camp out more and it's not as inconvenient, right? But we're playing Kansas on a Monday night. What is it? Like early February, if I remember, like first week of February.
Yeah, early February.
Yeah. And no one, everyone's, I don't know, but I do think that it's starting to get a little bit out of control in terms of how much TV companies dictate the scheduling of college athletics, which is always just been weird to me, but it's just how it is nowadays.
I like what TNT's doing now. We kind of have like a big with TNT, and I kind of
shout out to them. Yeah. Shout out to them. They've done amazing so far.
Yeah. What else? We want to go NFL now. We got new games this weekend for that. I mean, there's really no other news going on other than the WNBA playoffs starting soon, which honestly, let's be real.
It's already started, actually. I don't know.
It did. That just proves how irrelevant it is.
Yeah, they put a game-winning shot, and the lights turned off.
That's crazy.
They got co-defensive players of the years too. By the way, remember they gave 2 people.
I ain't trying to throw no shade on it, but respectfully, on a Thursday night, who's watching the WNBA?
Yeah, I think it was like Fever or somebody was ahead of the college football, or not college football, on Thursday night football game for me, and I was like, what? And then I remembered it was on Prime Video, so I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Who we got NFL this week? What's the
we got there's some good games. I think Monday Night Football. They got Lions at Ravens in Baltimore. I think that's gonna be it.
I'm pretty sure Baltimore's favored by like 5.5. Like that's a little high.
I like those odds though.
I think the Lions cover. Like,
well, it's funny because everyone presumed the Lions were going to be god awful after Week 1 at Green Bay, just because
I know
Green Bay is ridiculously good. That's what I'm saying. And then the Lions follow up this past weekend, putting up like 52 on Chicago, which they're
I have Amon-Ra and Jared Goff in fantasy, so I was chilling.
We had a field day.
They got me 75 points, bro.
Ooh.
Oh, I got it.
What is he putting on? What is he putting? The Denzel Ward jersey?
In my opinion, there's really
where's the Shador jersey
this week.
I don't have one.
I mean, the Saints and the Seahawks look like a good one.
I was just saying.
No, the Saints are bad.
Y'all ain't messing with Tyler Spencer Rattler?
He hasn't played yet.
I know.
I'm telling you, we're gonna pull it off this weekend.
No, you're not.
Who y'all playing?
Packers are gonna destroy y'all.
No shot. AJ, I love you, but there's no way.
Huh?
Dude, Mike is going to have 3 sacks by the end of the first.
Honestly,
this
is
dude, Flacco, hey, that might be a good thing.
I took Jerry Jeudy out of my starting lineup for a reason.
Yeah, I know. The thing with the Browns, though, what I said is the only chance we have in the game is if our defense can get turnovers and score on them, because our offense ain't doing nothing. So the defense will keep it a close match. The only chance we would have is if the defense scores somehow themselves.
Hey, we do have a bottom barrel matchup this week with the Falcons at the Carolina Panthers.
I think Falcons
Falcons are good.
Hey,
their offense has been
the Falcons
solid.
Are good.
I got into an argument here, and I don't care, and I will stick by it. Baker is a current top 10 quarterback in the league.
That's
Probably
yeah.
is.
I mean, I felt like that's fair, especially the way he played on when was it Monday
Yeah.
against the Vikings? Yeah,
No, Texans.
No, against us.
Yeah.
Against us.
The
Yeah, he
we
looked
got the
great.
Steelers, and the Patriots. I feel like that's going to be a decent.
Dude, that's
I
probably
don't
be like
think
a
they're gonna
10-10
come out.
game. Like
I really the only good
Rodgers
game
or
this
not.
week, in my opinion, is Monday night.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that's really it.
Honestly, the Sunday night game could be sneaky. Like,
So
Chiefs and
the-
Giants.
dude, the
Oh
Giants,
my God! I didn't even see
D
that.
line,
I didn't
the
even see
Giants
that.
D
Yeah,
line
dude.
against the Chiefs,
possible.
like O line, like because
they've been
Chiefs O line is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs have
Like,
a
the Giants-
70% chance to win.
And the
which
Chiefs
is
right now
heavy.
don't have a wide receiver.
Yeah, Mahomes is kind of just stuck.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing the juju, man.
Yeah, I was about to say they got Hollywood Brown. Come on now.
Oh my God.
No, because when they were talking about like the Fox game and they played the Eagles, they brought up that Mahomes hadn't lost 3 games in a row since he was at Tech. So it was.
That's
What
crazy,
about
bro.
I was like,
Did y'all see what they did to Tyreek Hill?
What he what? Oh, they talked about his.
Yeah, they talked about his domestic
stuff.
abuse.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I started cackling.
it was like,
Bro,
I was like, dang, they're just they're just going all out on his domestic abuse
Oh.
situation.
God, who's the not Kirk, the other
Al Michaels.
yes,
Kind of.
because he goes, well, he's known for stuff off the field.
Oh.
Like, just said it. I was like,
Yeah.
good God.
I
I didn't know
do.
you could.
AJ, I feel awful for you. I'm looking at the week 4 stuff. Y'all play the Lions after y'all play the Packers.
Oh, I know. We're going
Oh,
0-6.
easy win. Oh, easy win.
Bro, and then I'm looking at this game too. We got the Ravens and Chiefs, and then my big game, which I'm not looking forward to, is the Packers and the Cowboys. That's
Micah's
Is
return.
that next
I
week?
don't even want to talk about that, dude.
I'm terrified right now.
Micah returned
Mike-
home.
Mike is gonna come in just blaring Young Boy, and it's gonna be like demon time in that game, man.
3 or 4
Like-
sacks.
It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad.
I'm actually terrified.
I hope CD drops like 4 or 5 balls on purpose. I really do. Like, I mean, this season, like, yes, we won this past weekend, but that was one of the worst, like, just sloppy games
Wins,
I've ever
yeah.
seen.
Our defense is terrible.
Dude.
Our secondary is awful.
Trevon Diggs just completely did a 360 in his career trajectory.
Well,
Like,
he's never been able to tackle. Like he tries to hit people. He can't rap. It's actually awful. But
and it's funny though, because the guy we end up paying instead of Micah is out. He's not even playing.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say Bland is pretty freaking good though.
Dude, he's a dog. But if we're gonna spend 4 years, 92 mil on him, and he's getting injured more than Micah, I mean, I get Micah would have been a lot of money, but those draft picks we're getting in return from Green Bay are gonna be like 31 or like 30. Like,
yeah,
it's gonna be
especially
late.
now with the season they're having.
That's what I'm saying. It just,
We're kind of screwed. I would
hey,
literally
Sam, anything
anywhere
on Texans?
for Green Bay.
we got Kenny Clark
just-
though.
Dude, Kenny Clark's a Pro Bowler.
He's also he's old, man. Like, I
Yeah,
love.
I know.
Hey, he's a dog, but his time's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your take on Texans right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I think people in the Texans community are they're overreacting a little bit to the 0-2 start. Like, you lost to 2 playoff teams last year, and 2 games that easily winnable. We've lost by a combined like 6 points. So, I think this would be a good week to see where we're at against the Jaguars division game. So,
Sam, I also want
it's just
to
the-
ask you. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
No, I wanted to ask you too with CJ Stroud, right? Because I've seen a lot of people overreacting, saying,
Yeah.
"Well, it was a bust year. He's not good." Like, in your opinions, how do you feel like he's been so far going into this? His second year.
Yeah. What was his third year? Third year this year.
This is
Yeah,
third.
it's third.
Damn, we're getting old.
Yeah, because I'm
Jesus.
old. I know. So
Oh, God.
it's more of a he looks good whenever he has time. He just never thinks he has enough time. The O line is really not good, and we brought in a new offense coordinator, Nick Caley, and he's never been a play caller in his life. So there's some growing pains, and like D'Amico Ryans is obviously a defensive coach. Like, the defense is phenomenal. And I think that's going to be what is going to win us games. But CJ, I want to see more play action rollouts this week. We ran like one of those, and I think once you get Christian Kirk back and once you get Joe Mixon back, like those are two starters on offense that can help you win games. Like Christian Kirk is an established veteran that kind of like how what Stephon Diggs was for us last year before he tore his ACL. So like you're just missing guys. Like he misses Tank Dell. If Tank Dell ever comes back and plays football, like we'll be
Dude,
good.
I feel for Tank, man, because he was doing so good, and then just has one of the most disgusting leg injuries I've ever seen personally.
He's the unluckiest guy. I just wish Tank Dell is so good, but man, if he could just stay healthy, and if we could really see what he was if he stayed healthy this whole time, it would be incredible. But his first year breaks his knee in half, and then the next year comes back and his ankle.
It was like it was brutal to watch. Like like CJ's crying on the field. Like but I gotta run, so I gotta go get Walmart groceries at a pickup. So
Got you soon. Well,
I'll talk to you all. I'm sure we'll text tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yeah, we gotta figure out if we're gonna watch the game together. If we do,
dude, I've got couches at my place and like a 75-inch. So if y'all want to come over here, y'all more than welcome.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I guess that'll wrap up the podcast for today.
Before we get on, why don't we touch back up on the Texas Tech? Outside of football, we've got volleyball starting tonight, and then we also have soccer starts up conference play tonight. So we'll see how those end up going. Soccer team looks good. We'll see how volleyball turns around after last year's season. But yeah, we'll see. That's all I can say on those.
Nah, well,
See you
all right,
soon.
you guys.
I'll see y'all, boys.
Later.
Have a good one. Let's see.
Damn. All right. You leaving it?